bookish friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into my November reading recap. So get cozy while we talk about the books I read this month, as well as some books I picked up and what I'm looking forward to in December. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let me know down in the comments what your favorite read of November was. Let's get into it. First up, let's discuss the books I read this month. I read 11 books in total, so let's get into each of those. First up was Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Moss, and this was a 4.75 stars. This was a highly anticipated read for me, and I knew I was going to love it, and I did. I honestly think it was the perfect sequel to the first book. The first book I love, I think I gave it a 5 stars, but for some reason, even though it is a 4.75 stars, I really think that this was really well done in comparison to the first one. Like, the first one is amazing, I loved it. This one, I feel like I got to know the characters a lot more, and I really love the way that she combines the Greek mythology with this like grunge emotional story between it. I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's not a masterpiece series. The writing is not perfect. But I really enjoy it. It's very addicting and very good, and I'm excited to see where else this series will go. The next book I read was Before I Forget by Tori Henwood, which was an ARC, so I don't have a physical copy here. And this one was a 4.5 stars for me. This one I received from being a part of the Macmillan Early Listeners program, and I honestly wasn't super sure that it was my thing because it's not what I typically read, but I really loved it. It's about memory and the weight of memory. It's about identity and family. Honestly, it was really, really good, and I highly recommend you check it out if any of those themes seem interesting to you. My next read was This Monster of Mine. I don't want to butcher her name, but this was a 5-star read, and this is absolutely my favorite read this month. It was honestly so amazingly done. I'd been putting it off for a while. This is the Fairy Loot edition, gorgeous. But I think I got this in like March or April or something, and I hadn't read it until this month. And I don't know why I put it off. I think the judicial system kind of like seems like it would be too technical, but it really isn't. It's really interesting. She works as basically a truth teller with her magical ability in the judicial system, and she is investigating her past, that she doesn't remember what happened. I think it's really, really good, really, really well done. The romance was cute. Yeah, I just highly recommend this one. I love it. It was great. And then I was clearly on a Fairy Loot kick because my next read was Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber, and this is the Fairy Loot edition. And this one was a 3.25 stars for me. I think this one was pretty interesting. It draws inspiration from like old Hollywood, and she's trying to investigate these lores from this classroom. She's also trying to like find her sister. There's a lot going on, family drama and whatnot. It has a lot of the same themes as I would say Caraval had for me, which is like unsurety of who to trust, everyone's playing a role, different things like that I think the themes are really interesting. I'm not a personal fan of her writing style. It feels a little over redundant to me, trying to really make sure we know that we can't trust this person versus letting us, the readers, figure those things out. And I don't know, something about the writing style just throws me off a lot, so I didn't enjoy this like I had hoped I would. This is her first adult novel, and it didn't feel very adult to me either. It felt very much on the same par as Caraval. So I wasn't a big fan of this. I might sell this Fairy Loot edition, but it's gorgeous, and yeah, that was that one. Next up is Babel by R.F. Kuang, which was a 5-star read for me. This is another book that completely blew me away. If you've been following along, you know that I've been buddy reading this with a friend of mine since I think late September or early October, and it's just been such a journey. It is an intense epic fantasy with really good world building, themes about colonialism, power, language, lots of different things, academia. It's really, really well done with those themes. It's just, I can rave about this so long, but R.F. Kuang was a new to me author this year, and I just really wanted to try this one out with her, and I am amazed, and I want to keep reading more R.F. Kuang, so I think The Poppy War will be up next for me, but I highly recommend this one. It includes the epic fantasy, the fun parts of that with the magic, but it's also a really deep story with a lot of very important messages to it. So I think a lot of people should read this. Next up was my final fairy loot for this month, and that is Thorn Season by Kiara Azar. And this was a 3.5 stars for me. This one was a solid read for me. I think she's really good at the world building and creating those thorny vibes of this book. However, I felt that the pacing was a little off for me, and there was a lot of side plots that just didn't fully connect well enough for me. And I just feel like if she had plotted it out with more clarity for those side plots and more clarity for the main plot a little bit more too, I would have really loved this. But I just felt like there was a lot going on and it was a little messy for me. But I was interested enough in the world building and the characters to see what book 2 will be about. I'm just not entirely sure. I'll read it. I'll just wait till the synopsis comes out and decide then. But I am curious. Okay, these next 3 I'm going to do together because that is Hookies Volume 1, 2, and 3. These 2 are 4.5 stars, and this one is a 5-star, Volume 3. Okay, so Volume 1 was actually a reread for me because I had already read it before when I only had this copy, but I recently got 2 and 3 volumes. And so I had to reread it so I remembered what was happening. However, I really love it. I think it's really great. The characters are super fun and unique. They're all very diverse. And I think that it does really well between balancing like the cute, cozy aspects of it with a little bit of darker themes of magic, dark magic, and things like that. The art is gorgeous. I'm just obsessed with the series. I think Volume 3 wrapped it up perfectly for a complete series, though I do wish there was some more. But I highly recommend this for people who can't experience it for the first time. It was so good, so go read it. Next up was another advanced reader's copy, and that is Words to Love a Planet by Ella Francis Sanders, which was a 5-star read for me. This one was a really tender and beautiful read. It beautifully combines these definitions of words around the world with reflections on the planet and gorgeous illustrations. It really like grounds you to the world, and it's just really beautiful. I love reading nature-y books, and I loved this one because it's really easy to read and really easy to get into, but also just almost in a way poetic, even though it's definitions, just to see the way that we had our language connecting to the earth. It is both grounding to the planet and to other people on the planet, because so many different languages have so many different ways of connecting to the planet, and it's just really gorgeous to see. I highly recommend this one. I loved it. I'm probably going to get a physical copy to keep around because I feel like this is something you need to revisit every once in a while to remember our connection with the planet and with the world. Next up is a book that I am still in the progress of reading, so it's not really read in November, but I started it in November, so I want to include it in this wrap-up so you know where I was at. And that is Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. And I don't have a rating for that yet. So this one I borrowed from my sister-in-law, and it is a special edition. I think it's from the probably Smut boxes, which made me a little nervous when I started it because, as you guys probably know, I don't really read Smut. But I have been loving it so far. I think it's really interesting. It has academia and it has tarot cards. It's not something that I typically read, so it's really drawing me in and interesting me. But I'm about 50% through. I'm at page 276, and I will tell you more about this when I finish it. Now let's talk about my new acquisitions this month. I didn't honestly go too crazy buying books this month. I know a lot of people probably got a lot of good deals on Black Friday, but I have 4 new acquisitions this month, and that is the 2 Fairy Loots, which I did get, but I don't want to show just because it might be a spoiler for some people who haven't received their Fairy Loots yet. So I have those 2, which I am part of the subscription, so that's always going to come. And then I bought 2 books from the Owl Crate Black Friday sale, which they were $10 a piece, which is honestly a really good deal, I think, because I've been eyeing one of the ones that I bought for so long, and that is Fable for the End of the World by Ava Reed. I have a copy, but I wanted this special edition. It looks gorgeous. I'm really excited to get this one. So I got that one for $10, and then I also bought Modern Divination, which has been on my TBR for a while, and I figured if I'm going to buy it, and this is $10 for a special edition version of it, I was like, I might as well get this one, and if I don't love it, I could always sell it or give it to a friend, you know? But so I have those two hopefully coming in soon, but those are from Owl Crate sale, and then my two favorites. Those are the 4 books I bought this month. Now for a yearly progress check-in. At the end of this month, I am at 162 books out of my goal of 140 books, which is 116% of that goal. I think I finished the goal in October. I can't actually remember, but what I do know is I'm kind of just enjoying the final stretch of the year because I did finish that. My goals are not super hard on me anyways, so I try to leave it a little open for me to just do what I want. But I think that was a good goal for me, and I'm really happy that I finished it. As far as my favorite quote of the month goes, this one was really difficult for me because I had so many great books that I read this month and so many great quotes from those. I was going to choose something from Babel because those quotes feel like profoundly important. But if I'm being honest, the one that stuck with me is not profoundly important. It's just something that stuck with me. So I'm choosing a quote from Bonds of Hercules by Jasmine Moss. The quote is, "She needs monsters precisely because she's not one." It's just such a beautiful quote to me. I know it's not, like I said, profoundly important. I read a lot of like morally great characters, enemies to lovers, the basic things that I think a lot of us girlies on here read. And it still astounds me that sometimes something so poetic and beautiful can catch my eye and catch my heart the way it does. I really like that quote. I don't know, it was great. So that's that. Now moving into December, I'm just going to tell you guys a few of my hopefuls to read this month. First up is obviously Arcana Academy. Since I'm in the middle of that one, I'm hoping to finish that one up immediately so that way I can move on to some more books. Next up is The Swan's Daughter, which I have an advanced reader's copy of it, and I think it comes out early January. I just want to read this before the end of the year because it's something I'm really excited to read, and it is my next arc on my list. My next two is A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic and A Fellowship of Librarians and Dragons, because I think these will be really cozy, good reads for this season. So I'm looking forward to reading these in this winter vibes. Next up after that is The Love Hypothesis. I have been waiting to read this for so long because my friend has recommended it so many times, and I'm excited to read this one. I don't typically read romance, but I do think winter is the most romancy month. Obviously there's February, which is Valentine's Day, and I think fall is a pretty romancy season, but I don't know, winter to me, in December especially because of Christmas, just feels like the right time to be with your loved one and to be in love. So I'm excited to read this one this month. And finally, but not least, is Holly by Adeline Grace. This is a buddy read, which we started at the first day of December, so I've only gotten a little bit in there because I'm recording this on December 2nd. But I'm really excited for this one. It's really good so far. It's really gorgeous. And it's perfect winter vibes. All right, that is it for my November reading recap. You can see full reviews for these books mostly on my Instagram. A few of them, like the arcs, are typically on my Goodreads and Storygraph. But you can see those there if you want to check out more fleshed out reviews for them. Let me know down below what you read this month and if any of these books were on your TBR. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Happy reading!